Well, good morning, my fellow students, staff, and faculty members, and to all those in our community. It's great to be standing here once more as I speak to all of you. As we round things out in conclusion upon a successful year and a new one prepares to ensue. I'd like to begin by thanking all those of you who've been there for the duration of this past year, and those of you who've been close to me in particular. The ones who, first of all, I express my gratitude for putting up with me for, and secondly, I'd express my gratitude for all the support and care, and sometimes the craziness that's been there as well. But it's made a difference nonetheless, and a positive impact. And as I've mentioned before, I'll always be there, and I'll never give up on any one of you, and I'll never apologize for it. And to all, I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for the support I've received from every single one of you. You all made a difference in shaping the successes we achieved over this past year. And things have come a long way. And this journey has been one of all kinds of different highs and lows, successes and setbacks, but most importantly, one of growth. It wasn't that long ago that I couldn't imagine myself being in the position that I'm in now. I'd been a freshman, joining into our leadership group for the very first time, not too well aware of what to fully expect, but knowing that I had one ambition in mind, a desire to simply do my part for the betterment of our campus and our community. Even if that meant simply showing up to paint a class wall or decorate for an upcoming rally in our school gym during the first 6 weeks of the school year. Over time, that ambition grew in its scale as I found my voice and my calling, but its foundation always remained the same. And thanks to the vast array of support which I encountered in my final year, I found a level of achievement I had not expected to reach, but I'm honored to have had the opportunity to represent. When I was elected over a year ago, I laid out a 3-point plan that I believed would bring about change that matters for our campus. Change that would be remembered and leave a lasting impact, not just for this year, but for years to come. As I said then, these experiences are the ones that we'll remember 40, 50, 60 years down the line. And that journey, albeit not simple, is one which I still stand by as being well worth the effort. For as one man once said, we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard, because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. And we made some progress, to say the least. Chief among them, a focus on the expansion of your voice. I said it then, and I meant it. Every single student who walks this campus deserves to have a fair say and an even chance in determining the future of this campus. It's important, and it represents one of the most critical points of what we tackled this past year. Firstly, we revolutionized what it means to keep students and those in our community informed and up to date on the latest things happening around campus. AS Broadcast stands in a stronger position than it has at any point in recent history. And I'm proud of the progress that's been made and what we've been able to achieve with more advanced technology and a strong level of teamwork empowering the success that we've seen in producing a medium of keeping people informed that has garnered overwhelming support from both staff and students alike. And it takes a lot. From our scriptwriters, Tristine and Irene, who've stuck there since the beginning, to the various editors in Jaden and Raghav who've stepped up over time to fill the crucial void when it's been needed most. The broadcast that we all know wouldn't be where it is today without the efforts of any single one of you who've been out there helping out. And Arya, you've got a great adventure ahead of you, man, and I wish you the best as the future editor for the broadcast and for your other roles that I know you're going to handle well this upcoming year. That's not to even mention every anchor who took the time out of their tutorials to come out to fulfill their role on the show. And I could stand here and try to name every single one of them, but seeing as how I'd probably forget at least one of them, I'll save the embarrassment for myself for now on it. But we made a significant difference nonetheless. And everyone who played a part in it should be proud of the achievements we made to ensure we empowered students with being informed for years to come. Speaking of which, we laid out the groundwork to tackle a fundamental issue with voter rights. Back when I first laid out my proposal for the voter recognition amendment back in August of last year, I noted that the biggest concern in opposition to the change was that our voters simply didn't know well enough about our candidates to be given the full power of their vote. But I'll tell you, it's my firm belief that the solution to such a proposition isn't to restrict or to create a reduction in the capacity of what a vote stands for. It's to inform our voters and give them the tools to make their decision. This year, we proved that there is hope on this matter. This year, we proved that the tools do in fact exist. This year, we proved that with just a little bit of work, you can keep people informed, and we proved it can be done. There's been enough damage done by letting things continue to fall down the rabbit hole that was set when a previous executive team made the change. I fundamentally disagree with the choice that was made then, and I've witnessed the increasing divide that's been sown inside ASB, the growing tensions, the grudges, the anger. Enough is enough. At what point will we realize the need to change, to do something different, something better? I'm not saying my proposal provides a definitive solution here, but we laid down the groundwork, and just as well as the change was made a few years ago, action can be taken to do something about it now. We've demonstrated that the tools very well exist to keep people informed. We've laid out a path to restore the full power of a voter's sacred choice. And I've heard from people, both inside and out of ASB and around campus, those who've wanted to see that change. It's long overdue. It's long overdue. We got things started, but it'll be up to the next executive team to finish the job, to bridge the divide, bring the temperature down, and bring everyone back together. It can and it should happen. There's not a single solitary reason I've known as to why it shouldn't, and I urge this next team to get it done. Secondly, we saw a revitalization of the major events that have been crucial to our history and our tradition, while spicing things up a bit as well. Every bit mattered. Most notably, we pulled off the first homecoming dance in its full capacity. Its full capacity since we came out the other side of the pandemic just a couple years ago. And that's not all. The first full-scale Fantastics rally held in the school gym since that time period as well also came through this year, bringing both of our major traditions back to their full capacity and then some. In fact, our homecoming dance did well enough in the fall, fulfilling its capacity of serving our over 600 attendees, our maximum capacity, that we were able to come back the next season and pull off the follow-up with the first winter formal in years, kickstarting the potential for a third major traditional season to take place from now on alongside homecoming and Fantastics. And prom saw refreshing faces this year as well, with a new location that many people were requesting, with Gilroy Gardens. But the major events aren't all we got to. The off-season events mattered too. We saw some of our best Spirit Weeks with some of the highest levels of influence from our student body in deciding some of our Spirit Day themes this past year. Our dedicated lunchtime activities in the name of awareness months, Cocoa and Cram's return, the first 99.7 Now takeover in years on our campus, and the first dedicated week of service, raising over $250 in donations to Martha's Kitchen, thanks to our then ASB secretary. Thirdly, I've always talked about how important our clubs are. I've always said you've all been the blood and soul of our campus. You all represent the best of who we are as a school, and it's important that we created an environment where every club could thrive. Our school spirit remained in a healthy state, but I'll tell you, ASB can't take all the credit for it. Our over 80 clubs this past year served to provide countless more events, activities, and service events for everyone to take part in. In fact, over 20% of our current clubs have been fostered in the years since the pandemic. And you all play an important role in maintaining and growing that vital school spirit every single year. And I'm proud of the growth we gave to ensuring clubs were given crucial opportunities to be represented at our club rushes and at all of our school rallies this past year. And further events, such as our school's second annual Cultural Appreciation Day and wellness fairs, brought further opportunities and helped to highlight the vast diversity of not just our clubs, but of all those on our campus. Now, there is one more thing I thought I'd cover briefly. I know there's been at least a handful of speculation around what's next. Some of you might know how quiet I've been on the topic at times around campus. So as a part of today's events, I'd figure I'd clear up any more remaining speculation and give you all a look at what's next and what's to come. I'm proud to say that I'm committing my next 4 years on a pathway intended to ultimately lead to the University of California of San Diego. And this pathway begins with San Diego Mesa College, where I look forward to getting started this fall. As I've said before, I'll be seeing many of you out there. And those of you heading down into that territory, especially now, I'll be seeing you around at some point, I'm sure. And for all of those I haven't met yet, I can't wait to get started. This future represents a choice, and a unique one at that, and I want to emphasize that. For all that we've covered, those of you might understand the choices that we're faced with. But I'll break it down further. Think about the choices we have to make in our everyday lives, the ones that we're faced with every single day, big or small, the ones that we're faced with. Those of you who know, someone who comes up to you and tells you, you have to make a choice. It's between whether or not you're going to do what needs to be done or doing what you want, doing what makes you happy, doing what you want to do. And let me be one to tell you, I fundamentally disagree with this notion, and I want you all to remember that. Those of you going into your senior year especially, it's important. It's important. There is not the objective choice and the subjective choice. There's your choice. There's your choice. That moment when you discover what you value and what lines up with it, that's when you'll know. That's when you'll know you've found your calling. You found the right choice. And I promise you, in the face of others who might tell you it can't be or that it doesn't exist, keep searching, because I promise you, it does. It does. We're long past the times of black and white territory of the matters. We live in an age defined by our diversity and our expression of who we are. And our choices should reflect that as well. And for those of you who seek to stand against such progress, to not live up to those keystone important values, well, someone once said, lots of luck in your senior year. We'll always have room to grow, but we'll always push the needle further in that direction. We'll always push it further in the direction of growth. And at the end of it all, I'll say it again. I'm proud of the achievements we reached. I'm proud of the service we provided for every single student on our campus. And I'm honored to have been given the grace of the opportunity to be your representative. If you think you've reached the top, reach higher. And if you haven't gone there yet, don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. And I promise for everyone, our best days still lie ahead of us, and I'll be right there with you for it. Thank you.